What's up, everybody? Adam here, with a little something different for me, for my channel, for my YouTube channel. You know, I'm a YouTuber. I've been feeling real cynical lately. No, I was recently inspired by a coffee reviewer I've been watching. Now, I'm not usually one to watch coffee reviews. The only reviews I watch really are like movies, I guess. And I don't want to do reviews necessarily. I don't want that to be my thing on my channel, you know. Also, my channel is for whatever I feel like doing. And if I feel like doing a coffee review, I'm going to do a coffee review. And yeah, no, I started watching this guy who reviews coffees, and it kind of inspired me. Kind of inspired me to give it a try. Now, if you know me, obviously, you know I love the cafefe, the good cupis, the kawa, the black gold, the nectar of the gods. I love the stuff. I've been drinking it for over 10 years now, and it's changed my life. Coffee's changed my life. No, not to give it too much credit, but it is something I love. I guess I can consider it a passion. I love everything about it. I love researching into it and learning about it and its origins and the culture around it and the chemicals in it that make our brains feel kind of nice. You know, get that adrenaline gland going with some adenosine from the caffeine. Yes, I know a little bit about it. So yeah, doing a coffee review. But yeah, I never wanted my channel to have reviews. I never wanted to make review videos. I attempted that back in like high school, really early on, back in like 07, when I first started like a YouTube channel. I tried reviewing like an Adult Swim DVD, and just, I don't know, it didn't go over well. I had a friend accost me about it the next day, or make fun of me, because he found that video, and I never wanted to do it again. But also, I just don't feel like it's me, I don't know. I like my podcast because I just get to be me, and just talk. And I don't like things being too scripty or, you know, stuff like that. That's why, I don't know, just some reviewers are just a little too fake, a little too scripty. But the guy I watched for the coffee reviews was really amazing. And I just love watching his videos. He's himself. I want to talk about like how I'm going to be reviewing this. I do love coffee. I've been drinking it, like I said, for over 10 years. And I do love I appreciate the coffee snob. The snobbery surrounding coffee. Because there is an elitism, as there is with everything. I try to stay in the middle of those things, really. Can I, tell the difference between Folgers using Robusta and, Caribou using Arabica or something? Of course, yeah, the Folgers is trash. It's trash coffee. But I also go by saying crappy coffee is better than no coffee. I'll always, if somebody offers me a cup of Maxwell House, I'm going to choke her down because I just... I appreciate the gesture, and I love coffee, and when people share things like that, I appreciate that. That being said, also, if you've ever seen coffee reviews or coffee snobbery, that's what I'm gonna call it. You know that people get some coffee is like a wine in a way. They even have cuppings or coffee tastings where people literally have like little cups of coffee and drink it and swish it around in their mouth. Just, kind of like they do wine and then spit it back in the cup. I don't know if they spit it back in the cup or not, but that is something they do. And then they're like, oh, I'm getting a woodsy flavor with a hint of blueberries, a little vanilla, a little milk chocolate. And people who don't drink coffee, and even if you do drink coffee, you might find that to be a bit ridiculous. Like, how could you get all those flavors out of coffee? Well, I will say this. I've been drinking... mostly black coffee for the last 10 years. Of course, I started off drinking coffee with sugar and French vanilla creamer, but eventually I made the switch to black coffee, and I don't know what possessed me to do that. Maybe because I was becoming more infatuated with the beverage, and I wanted to taste its natural form, quote-unquote natural form. I don't know why I put it in quotes, dude. Yeah, it's natural, form, as far as being a brewed cup of coffee. And when I started drinking black coffee, I really started to, appreciate the flavor of coffee. I mean, again, it's an acquired taste. I don't expect anybody to like black coffee. I know, a lot of people think that's ew, yucky. But I love it, and it's allowed me to taste the differences in coffees. A Javalia house blend tastes different than a what brand do I want to throw out there? I don't know. I love Cameron's. That's like one of my favorites. Like Cameron's breakfast blend. Like they don't taste the same, but you can drink them both black. They both use Arabica beans, but they don't taste the same. So I can attest that there must be something going on with coffee, and the soil that it's grown in, and the environment that's grown in, you know, what land it's grown on. Because another big thing with coffees, and one of my main reasons why I love coffee so much is the fact that we have origin coffees, and we have so many different countries around the world that grow coffee. And so, you got, an Ethiopian coffee and a Kenyan coffee in Africa, which are going to taste different than a Costa Rican coffee or Kona coffee, that's grown by, like, the volcanoes. That stuff really all must attribute to the flavor profiles found in coffee. So when I do these reviews, I'm going to try my best to describe what I am smelling and what I am tasting. But I cannot, even after all these years, pinpoint the exact notes of things, especially like the more fruity stuff. Like, I know when a cup is bold, I know when it is light, I know when it is got a more earthy charriness to it. And I consider, and this is a word used for coffees, but I feel like I can tell when a coffee is juicy, as weird as that sounds. But as picking out the specific types of chocolate or woodsy flavors or fruit flavors, is it a cherry kind of note or a blueberry kind of note? I don't know if I can tell that. I really don't. I'm going to try my gosh darn hardest, though, because I love it. I love when people do taste coffees and they're going through all of those kind of flavors and notes. I love reading what the bag says, a lot of coffee bags will tell you what the notes are and the flavor profiles. And so, I don't know. These reviews are coming from me kind of falling back in love with coffee. I've been drinking it hardcore for a long time, about a decade. But that appreciation and love I had started to wear off probably maybe a couple years ago or so. To where it was just a habit. I just drank it all the time and thought nothing of it. I liked a good coffee and I had my favorite brands, but that true appreciation for it, almost the mysticism behind it, I don't know if that's the right word, but realizing how kind of a magical thing that coffee is. I've been thinking about that again these last several months, and not even in just last few months, and I've been really kind of seeking out different coffees again like I used to, and just really enjoying I know this is going to sound cringy, but the experience of drinking a good cup of café. So many names for it. I prefer café, that's my favorite word for coffee. Or kawa, I do like calling it kawa too. Kawa is like the original word for coffee. It's an Arabic word. And did I talk about this in my coffee deep thoughts episode? I don't know if I did. And it's a very similar word to wine, because they kind of thought coffee and wine was like similar. I don't know. Anyways, that's not what this video's about. Yeah, there's been like a little renaissance for coffee for me. And so I thought, let me just start reviewing the coffees that I'm getting. Why not? Why not? It just sounds fun, okay? This is for fun, right? That's why we make YouTube videos, remember? For fun, right, people? No, we do it for money. We do it because we don't want to work 9-to-5 jobs. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm getting fired up about that whole YouTube monetization thing. A bunch of crybabies YouTubers are. Anyways, that's for my deep thoughts. So yeah, I think does it for the introduction. I don't know if I can think of anything else. I could ramble on about coffee a lot. I could do a whole nother second episode of my podcast on the coffee episode. Anything else? I don't think so. Let's just get started, I guess. I'm going to be doing a pour over and an espresso of this coffee. And this coffee today that I have is this Jamaican Blue Mountain from International Specialty Coffee. Look how pretty the packaging is. It's another thing about just things in general, material goods. I'm a sucker for packaging, and I've bought so many coffees just based off the packaging, and they usually turn out pretty good. Not too many bad coffees I've ever had, I'll say that. Definitely some better than others, but rarely do I get like a disgusting coffee, unless I'm getting Folgers. Now, if you drink Folgers, that's fine. That's totally cool. We don't judge. We do not judge here. Okay? Judgment-free. It's just whatever coffee you're drinking. Love it. Love it. So, yeah, this Jamaican Blue Mountain. Now, one thing about it is, one, it's almost gone. I've been drinking the crap out of it. But I also saved a little last bit for this review. And I haven't touched it in like a week. I got it from the home goods store because I discovered we had a home goods store right before Christmas when I was trying to go Christmas shopping for people. And I also discovered they have a nice selection of coffee. Coffees I've never seen or heard of before in my life. With just great packaging and, you know, tons of like Hawaiian Kona coffees and Costa Rican and, you know, the Blue Jamaican Mountain. Lots of different, you know, a lot of Italian coffees, which I also picked up one of those that I'll be reviewing. So, you know, I thought I'd start picking up coffees from there and reviewing them. This is the home goods collection, we'll call it. And so I've already, and also I won't always be reviewing and tasting coffees for the first time. If I've been drinking on it for a couple weeks, I'll still throw a review out. So, also about the Blue Jamaican Mountain thing. Blue Jamaican Mountain coffee is a, how would you class it? Like A++ coffee. It's like Kush of coffee, right? It's like your Girl Scout cookies. I don't know. Girl Scout cookies is so mainstream now, though. What's a really like fire strain of weed now? I don't know. A Gorilla Glue? I don't know. So much weed nowadays. I can't even keep up. But it's up there as top tier coffee. So it's actually very expensive. But what you'll see in a lot of grocery stores is something that touts the words Blue Jamaican Mountain. But it's really maybe like 5% Blue Jamaican Mountain. Now this one doesn't say how much it is, but I'm going to guess around 5 to 10%. There's really no way of telling. And they do the same with Hawaiian coffees or Kona coffees as well. I just got a Hawaiian coffee that says it uses 10% Hawaiian beans. It admits it. Again, because a real 100% Kona Hawaiian coffee is usually pretty pricey. So, keep that in mind. And, yeah. My drip coffee maker, my Mr. Coffee one-click button cheapo died on me like a week ago. So, I've also been getting back into pour-over. And pour-over is probably my favorite way to taste coffee. To me, it brings out like the best flavors of coffee. You can tell the difference between a drip coffee maker coffee and a pour-over, 100%. It's so good, dude. So I've been forced to do pour-overs lately, but it's got me back into loving pour-over too. I don't always feel like making a pour-over, you know, especially at 5:30 in the morning. I wish I could just hit that button and let the coffee brew itself. But I do have a Hamilton Beach, actually, 5-cup coffee maker on the way. I've never used Hamilton Beach before, but I know they're a pretty decent brand. And with drip coffee makers, I keep it simple. Nothing bigger than a 5-cup, because it's just for me. The last two ones I had are just the one-button ones, which I don't care for, because I like the programmable ones, where you can set it to brew in the morning, and I bought a programmable Hamilton Beach one. That should be here like Monday. But yeah, and I'm also going to be making a double shot of espresso of this, because this coffee was pre-ground. But sometimes you'll get a coffee pre-ground that's already ground up really fine. And that's the kind of grind you want to use for an espresso shot, as per all the experts. Now, I've brewed an espresso with horse coffee, and you're supposed to use horse coffee for pour-overs, and I've done pour-overs with a fine ground like this we're about to do. And I don't ever notice much of a difference, really. But I do try to follow the rules. I try to use a fine ground for espresso. Pour-over, I'll use whatever grind. I really don't care. It tastes great. So, yeah, we're going to make a pour-over here and a double shot of espresso with my Mr. Coffee Espresso Cafe espresso machine that I've had for nigh 7 years now, and it's just a beast. The only thing that doesn't work anymore is the milk frother, but otherwise it still brews great espresso. But I will replace it with probably another Mr. Coffee espresso maker here soon. I think that's my brand, is Mr. Coffee. I don't know. I got a Mr. Coffee grinder, I had a drip coffee maker, Mr. Coffee. I got a espresso maker, so it's a solid brand. So yeah, let's go and get started here. So pour over, I first got into pour over probably back in 2016, I think, and I think I got for my birthday a pour over set that, it just came with like a big glass vase, and what you would do is put a brown like cone filter in it, and do your pour over. That broke within within a few months, while I was trying to wash it here in the sink. And but it didn't take me long because I was really loving the pour over. I bought another one, but it's from a brand called Bodum. It's from Target, and it specifically came with this mesh filter, which I've kept. And but the glass vase, you know, whatever you want to call it, carafe or whatever, for the pour over, it broke too. It broke too while I was trying to wash it in the sink. I wash dishes too hard. I wash dishes too aggressively. I've also broken a 5-cup, you know, drip carafe while washing it in the sink too. So it's something I do. But so I haven't had an actual pour over set in years, but I've kept the mesh filter so I can still make pour over, and it's still great. I don't have any cone filters, but I do got a regular filter. I like brown paper. I don't know if there's really a difference, but I like the brown. I do the brown, especially since I started getting the brown cone filters for my pour over. Now I just always get brown filters. So yeah, let's get cracking. Now, when I first smelled this coffee, it smelled strange to me. I don't know, probably really see, maybe. I don't know if you can get a gauge of how fine that is, but it's pretty dang fine, actually. And, my first reaction to the smell of it is kind of musty, which is not what you want, of course. And it's the second, because I've gotten 3 coffees from the home goods store now, and there's a second one in the row that had like a stale, musty smell to me. So I'm kind of getting curious of why they're selling these coffees that are originally priced, you know, whatever, and then they're selling them for $5.99. You know, it's kind of like like a TJ Maxx thing or Ross. It's like, oh, this is actually worth $80, but we're only selling it for $14.99. I wonder how. But it does say best before November 30th of this year, 2023, so it's not expired. Let me read what it says here. Jamaican Blue Mountain Blend. Jamaica's world-famous Caribbean coffee is prized for its rich flavor and aroma. Coffee of medium body, modest acidity, and great balance possesses all the attributes for a delicious cup. The quintessential coffee. All of our coffees are roasted in small batches by our artisan master roasters. Our international specialty coffees captures the peak flavor characteristics, individual subtleties, and full aromatic pleasures unique to each specific variety of specialty coffee. We are always searching the globe to find new and interesting coffees. Yeah, I always love reading the coffees too, reading the bags, what they say on the packaging. I always try to make them sound so amazing. Sometimes they are, but no, it's not all bad. I smell like hints of like cocoa almost. There's some kind of lightness going on. Maybe a light woodsy smell. Here I go. I'm probably way off. I'm just using words that I hear. Almost like caramely too. It's very interesting. I don't know if I've smelled a coffee that smells quite like this, so let's go ahead and make a pour over. So also, I've been making a pour over, a little trick that I learned a long time ago from probably some YouTube video. I wet the paper filter there inside, so it sticks down better. And see, this is just how I do it. I just put it right on top like that. This is a real white trash pour over here. But I do everything white trash. You should see the tripod I'm using right now. I'll insert a shot of it. That's how I used to have to do it, man. Back in the day when I was making YouTube videos at age 14 and I was recording myself playing like Star Wars Battlefront, the original one, I'd put a camera and just, you know, make my own makeshift tripod and just stick it right on top of a stack of books or whatever. So, that's like a big spoonful there. So I go 2 tablespoons or whatever. Again, every coffee bag or package always recommends 2 tablespoons per like 6 fluid ounces of water or whatever for basically 1 cup. Which is supposed to be 5 grams of coffee for every tablespoon. So you're getting 10 grams in a cup, which is approximately 100 milligrams of caffeine. Okay, that water is ready. I like to let the water cool after boiling a little bit. I'm making a lot of coffee sins today. I've been rocking with this kettle again for like over 10 years. It's an old kettle, electric kettle, but it works. But for pour overs, they always recommend to have what they call a gooseneck, which is comes out really long and slim like this. That is a lot better for doing pour overs. So you'll see here as I pour. First, again, I kind of like to pour a little bit on there first. I've heard that releases like the gases or something. And then we're gonna go here. And it's hard to keep a steady stream with this kettle. But just go in a circle, your circular motion. You see a lot of it's kind of plopping out. It's hard to get a consistent stream of it. Kind of go to the outsides. And kind of slowly back in. This is how I do it. And then into the center. I believe they call that a center pour. And you'll see dripping through here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. Show off the crema. Look at that. This looks so good. Oh, so good. It's like, what other beverage do you know that makes a crema like that or something, you know? Like, coffee, like, becomes, it almost looks like foamy milk chocolatiness. Like, it's so good looking. Like, what other beverage does that? Got the chill lo-fi going. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It's a Thursday. Considering going to the open mic tonight. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. It was a really long, boring day at work today. But we're about to enjoy this cup of coffee. Let me tell you, son. Coming home to a cup of coffee is pretty great. Pretty great feeling. It's not good for me personally because I drink like 4 or 5 cups throughout the day just to get me through work. But I still like to come home and smash a nice giant cup like this. Oh, yes. So filter out, dispose of the grounds. Very easy. Easy peasy. Okay. So, got our cuppeth here. This is top mug right here. You guys have top mugs? You got favorite mugs? Keep looking at the wrong part of the camera here. This is one of the oldest mugs I have. I bought this when me and my wife got our first place, back when she was just my girlfriend still, back in 2012, I believe. Yeah, we went out, you know, shopping for, you know, new plates and stuff like that, because we just got a new place, and 90% of the plates and cups and bowls and such that we had were supplied to us from, you know, our parents. And that's still pretty much what we've been rocking with since being on our own for the last, you know, 10 plus years. Because the one day after we first moved into our first place, we went out to JCPenney. And I bought this mug, and I bought a couple of plates too. It's called Fiesta, I believe is the brand. I don't even know if they carry this brand anymore. But I got a plate with the same color, and I got a red plate as well. And we've never gone shopping for plates or silverware or bowls ever again for the last 10 years. Because we just use the hand-me-downs that we received, and we still use them. So we got like really old looking plates and stuff that our parents have had forever, that were probably passed down from their parents. But hey, that's cool, you keep it in the family. But eventually, you know, I think every 10 years we should go out and buy a new coffee mug and a couple new plates. But I buy tons of coffee mugs. I've got tons. But this is like the first one I think I ever bought, really. So, Old Blue. Old Blue. Let's go ahead and smell it now. Very similar to how the ground smells. It's a very strange smell. Almost getting like a mapliness, maybe? Oh, man. still smells good, though. I mean, it's not so atrocious, you know. It's nowhere near that. And, you know, I feel like making it sound like that because the smell is so weird. But interestingly enough, the taste is still really good, actually. I just can't pinpoint what exactly that thing is that's throwing me off so much. But like I said, I've already drank this coffee, so I already know how I like it. And I like it a lot, actually. There's definitely some fruitiness going on, although I can't tell what. Yeah, it was like a mapley. Oh, man. I don't know. That's all I got. Still a little bit hot. Let it cool for a second. I could get the espresso ready. So for the espresso, it's interesting because I always learned that a double shot of espresso, it has like around 75 milligrams of caffeine, and a single shot has like 50 milligrams, so half a cup of coffee to like a 3/4 of a cup. But what's funny is that because to fill a double shot up here, at least for me, maybe it's just me, it takes more than 2 tablespoons. Let's see, that's 1, 2. Say that's like 2.5. I'd fill it right to the brim. It's another half. That's 3. Go with another half here. Like 3.5 tablespoons I use for a double shot of espresso. Don't know if that's normal or not, but that's what I do. That's how I likes it. Okay? I'm a drug addict, okay? I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm a drug addict, so I like to get buzzed. But I try to just stick to coffee. Okay. Here's my Mr. Coffee Cafe espresso maker. With the tamper here. I bought this separately, I believe, but it did come with the pucks. Here's the whatever you call it. There's a single shot, which is never used ever. I always go for the double. Why would you not? And there she is. We're gonna go ahead and tamp it down. Nice, solid there. Of course, if you know espresso makers, it pushes water at super high pressure through it. This baby uses 15 bars, which is standard, I believe, and pushes that hot water through at a super high pressure, and that's why it needs to be packed really tight and with a fine coffee. And so you can get a very delicious, strong thing of coffee. Now I go ahead, since it doesn't take much water, I go ahead and use bottled water. Water really does make the difference in how your coffee tastes, I learned. I learned that because recently, several months back, my coffee started to taste really weird and not good, kind of burnt. And just weird taste, and I didn't know why, and it was consistent cup after cup. And I looked online, and a lot of people said, maybe it's the water. I was like, well, that's weird. I've been using tap water for my coffee for forever, but I went ahead and decided to use bottled water instead one day, and it tasted great. I was like, wow, it is the water. And then not too long after that, I got a call from our local water company. And they mentioned how, we're not going to use the same method of how we've been doing the water. Something to do with chlorine or no chlorine or something like that. I don't remember. I should probably know these things, but I don't. And they were like, we're going to go back to the old way of doing the tap water. So apparently they had changed it at some point. And I don't remember getting that call. But then it must have went badly because they changed it back to how they were doing the tap water. And after they changed back, my coffee started to taste normal again. But for espresso, I actually still use like a bottled water. I don't know why. It doesn't probably make that much big of a difference, but here's the whatever you call it for the espresso. Throw the puck in there. It's customary to put your cup on top of the espresso maker, like this, upside down, so it can like warm it up or something. I don't think it really matters that much. This is a cup I'm using. It's awesome. I think it's actually an alcohol shot glass, but I got it from the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado, and it's sweet. All right, bring you up close for this. Go ahead and pull, as they say. It's pretty loud. I won't talk while it's brewing, but you'll see the beautiful crema form up top. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. That's some good crema, boy. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and let that cool and go ahead and sip on the pour over. Yeah, there's almost like a mapley-ness to it that I really didn't realize before. And all of a sudden I'm doing a coffee review and I just all of a sudden can taste everything, apparently. There is this weirdness to it, though. I will admit, it's slightly off-putting, only slightly. But if it was really off-putting, I wouldn't drink it. I would have thrown it in the trash. It was only $5.99. There's something that hits first that I associate with almost like lighter roast, and this is a medium roast, and I'm a light roast guy. I call it almost like a juiciness. Maybe it's a citrusiness. I don't know. That hits first. Very nice, very light. Maybe it's considered floral. I don't know. Swish it around a little bit. It's good though. Something about it, especially I guess they call it the finish, as it's going down. It smooths out into something really good. You know, that kind of weirdness that I get hit with first, it kind of dissipates, and then there's something really good and delicious about it going down. It's very unique coffee. And I've had coffees that claim to be Jamaican Mountain before, and they're a little more on the Costa Rican side. They're a little more earthy, I would say. You know, always like a medium roast that could almost be like a medium dark roast. It's good. It might have a little bit of woodsiness too in there. What kind of wood? I don't know. Morning, perhaps? That's good stuff. Look at this shot of espresso. Oh, the crema. The crema overfloweth, dude. Look at that. Oh, I can't even tilt it. Oh, it's so beautiful and creamy looking. Now, espresso probably ranks on my third way to have coffee. It's up there. I love espresso. I drink it straight. Although, again, lately I've been kind of having a little fun with things. I've been making myself some vanilla lattes. But I got this machine back in 2015 because I wanted to see because I actually started drinking shots of espresso straight at a coffee shop. And I was like, oh, dude, I would love to make these at home. And, yeah, I love a good shot of espresso, dude. But I have to be in the mood for it. I really do. And I almost always am. So I don't know where it would lie. Because it's so, like I said, it's so strong. It's like, I don't know if I'd put it up there above drip. Because I still love drip, dude. I know I haven't experienced the French press. I know I'm missing out. I haven't experienced a percolator. Pour over is number one for sure. I think drip is number two, though, because it's still similar to pour over. But espresso is just in a field of its own. It's so, like, even light coffees taste bold, really bold. But I like a light coffee as espresso because you get a real tanginess to it that I like. So it just smells like more burnt, almost. don't know, it's really hard to smell the espresso, actually. Maybe because all that crema's on top. But also I'm getting some hints and notes that I was getting from, you know, the pour over as well. Yeah, kind of that strangeness mixed with that mapliness. Let me sip the crema. Sweet, sweet crema. And you can see how black this is. Now I'm smelling it more. Way more. That's strong, dude. There's like a dark chocolatiness to it for sure. That's like straight dark chocolate. Mixed with kind of that woodsiness. And urine? Is that urine I'm smelling? Some almost spiciness? I don't know. There's so much going on. It's good. It's so unique. It's so weird. There's something weird going on, dude. Yeah, I'm about to be jazzed up. This is how I like it. A good cup of pour over with a shot of espresso. It's chef's kiss. I'm getting some of that sweetness, a little bit of tanginess that I tend to get with like espresso, especially the lighter ones. But not too much. Honestly, more of its medium roast attributes are coming through in the espresso. As like I said, the espresso makes everything more dark or bold tasting or more earthy in a way. Yeah, definitely getting the sweetie tanginess there. A little woodsy. That's all I got for the espresso. I like to take my finger through it and lick that crema. The crema is so good. The crema is so sweet. And here's more of the pour over. I almost prefer this coffee pour over. I think I do over the espresso. It's a good cup, though. But it's got something funky going on. So we're going to go ahead and rate these out of 10. Decimals included. And I'm going to give it a 7.2 out of 10. Because it's in a very strange field to where it's like, there is something weird that's about it. But I like it. I could drink cup after cup. The espresso, though, honestly... Okay, pour over 7.2. Espresso 6.5. Takes it down a little bit for me because it's a little funky. You really get that sweetness and tanginess going down more so. But when you first hit with it, and the smell is weird. It's not great. Not a great smell for the espresso. 6.5 for the espresso. 7.2 for the pour over. It's decent. It's a you know, a B- coffee, I would say. But I buy it again. I don't know if I'd ever come back around to it. For the price, it's good. It's good for sure. But yeah, there's coffees out there I prefer. So I don't know if I'd ever come back to it, but still not too bad. I think that's gonna do it for this coffee review. That's all I got. That's all I got for my first coffee review. Hopefully I can do more of these. I think it's kind of fun. And I'm going to hopefully chop this down to where it's way short, dude. This thing went on for too long. But yeah, hope everybody has a wonderful day. I love you guys. And we'll see you next time on Coffee Reviews. Love ya. I need to come up with a good catchphrase.